Hey, this is Red Pill Mormon. This particular video is just a political video. It's not a doctrinal video. But I'm just, I'm a truck driver and I listen to podcasts, news reports, a bunch of stuff while I'm driving. And I was driving last night and I was listening to reports about how President Trump was taking a bunch of classified materials and showing them to people, and he was like doing this on camera and or recording, and he was talking about how I could have declassified these, but I can't now because or whatever, and like okay, so that's all interesting, but how are we supposed to know that these are actually real? Because the the technology that we have these days, we can make these deep fakes that look extremely real, and they're not real. Now, I personally believe that Donald Trump is a Judas goat. um, I don't trust him. I never have trusted him. I do like some of the stuff that he has done, but really, there's some things that he did with bump stocks and some other stuff, red flag laws that just were, I don't like them at all. I don't believe that a true conservative Republican would put forth these laws that are unconstitutional, in my opinion. But I also don't trust the deep state, and the deep state has the technology to create deep fakes in order to, um, you know, frame Trump and try to show this evidence. And I don't trust it. I don't trust any of them. I don't trust our political bureaucracies are unconstitutional. Congress has the power to do certain things, and they delegate their powers to these bureaucracies, which are unelected and just corrupt as all hell. And I think part of the reason that they're corrupt as all hell is because, like I've talked about in the past, we have had Soviet communists infiltrate our systems of higher education, and they brainwash students. Um, and these days, the brainwashing starts in elementary school and goes on up, but especially in college. So when I was in college, there were classes that I took, and it was clear to me that the textbooks that had nothing to do with English, well, this particular class that I took had nothing to do with English, but the textbooks would, every time any kind of traditional value was talked about, it was talked about in an extremely negative manner. And then anytime any kind of progressive uh, like value was talked about, it was talked about in a very positive manner, which when I brought it up to the professor, she said that, oh, you have a very good critical reading skills or thinking skills, I think she said. Yeah, but okay, at the time I was like 28, 29 years old when I was in college, and um, like these kids that were going to college with me, they were like 18, 19, 20, young, dumb, did not have critical thinking skills, reading these textbooks, trying to do the work that the professors were putting forth, and in the process getting brainwashed by the crap that had nothing to do with the classes. But we still had to read these things, and like um, when I think about what my experience was in college, and the fact that these uh, people in the DOJ and all over, saturated throughout all of our society. You've got these people who control the levers of power, and they, for the most part, are all college educated, all brainwashed by the corrupt higher education system that we have in this country. And I think that's why you see a lot of these bureaucracies that are enemies of the American people and enemies of the Constitution. And I believe that they have that they tried to hide this for many years, but now they're just out in the open about it, going after parents, going after people according to their political persuasion, Republican or conservative individuals. They'll go after them, but they won't go after liberals. They'll drop charges on clear criminal cases against people according to which side of the aisle, whether they're left or right. And it's just disgusting. And we're seeing this more out in the open, and there is a true war being waged on traditional values in our country, which, like I've talked about in past videos, is the doctrine of Cain, for one, but it's also the doctrine that is spoken in the scriptures when it comes to Balak and Balaam, and how if you get a people to accept wickedness, that God will take the blessings away from the people. And I believe this is a clear strategy, which is a legitimate spiritual strategy to destroy a righteous nation. And I believe that this country is past repentance. But anyway, I was just thinking about and listening to these these news reports talking about Trump and this new case that's going against him about the classified documents. And like the other thing too, like the whole thing about the deep fake is one thing, but whether or not that's the case, they're not going after Biden, who did not have the authority to declassify anything as Vice President of the United States, like the President of the United States had the power to do. They're not going after Hillary Clinton or Nancy Pelosi or any of these individuals that are on the left that have classified documents. All they're doing is going after conservative Republicans. And, they talk about, like the balance of the law, and you have to, like, nobody's above the law, except for they don't go after people if they're on the left, especially in higher positions of power that control the levers of power in this country. So anyway, one of the things I was thinking about last night as I was driving, and I don't know what to think about it other than it's just completely disgusting. This country is, we're under attack, and it's going to get worse. And, if we don't come out of Babylon, we're going to be part of the persecution. And I don't know how most of us are supposed to come out of Babylon. Keep your head down, keep your situational awareness on high, and prepare. Because, God's going to let this play out, and he's not going to protect his people. And we know that in Scripture it talks about, what's going to happen. And, people will eventually get justice on the other side of the veil. But it's not going to happen on this side of the veil, especially in these days. And the only people who are going to be protected are the people who are part of God's remnant, who are separated from among the people. And during the destruction, when this country falls apart, we will be in the highways at the top of the mountains and in the desert places, as it talks about in Isaiah, especially Isaiah 35. And the other people who are not part of the redemption of Zion and the remnant, I'm sorry. But if you don't come out of Babylon, that's what you get. Take care, everyone.